Good morning, traders. How are we doing? Oh, my animations. They weren't supposed to be on. I apologize about that. Hopefully we're all doing really good today. It is 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It's 7:30 a.m. for me. It is early. I am tired. I just woke up 45 minutes ago, and I'm just getting into the swing of things. PCE numbers came out, and we could see that they liked them in the pre-market. Now, will these numbers hold? We do not know. Or rather, will these gains, pre-market gains, will they hold? We do not know. But PCE numbers came in, I guess, less than expected. Is that right? Below forecasts and showing prices easing in July. So that's good to know for the consumer. Things are getting a little bit cheaper. Maybe inflation is chilling out. But we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jerome Powell, live with us this morning in, I believe, about half an hour. You can see he's hanging out ominously above me, and we're just going to be waiting to see what he has to say. I think the market is going to kind of be waiting with bated breath on all things Jerome Powell. So while we wait for the man, talk to me. Tell me hello. Tell me how you're doing. I would love to know who's here. I see there's a handful of you guys and gals. So thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to watching this event with you with you all this morning. Yeah, it's looking like market's kind of selling off that rally, at least initially selling off that rally. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe that was a little exit liquidity pump. Who knows? We will be finding out soon enough. Crypto's really liked the move, or crypto's really liked the news, rather. We've got Ethereum right here, ripping off that 1620 base from just a few short minutes ago. Almost traded up into the 1700s, or did trade up in the 1700s. I believe Bitcoin also liked the move. Bitcoin up 21.1 to 21.9. Wow, what a move! $800 in just a few minutes. What are we watching today? What are you guys interested in? Also, we do have a winner for the NVDA competition. I don't know if you guys saw on my Twitter, but Praveen Kumar came in with a guess of 168.7. And what did this thing open? This thing opened 164.3. No, this is the earnings day. I feel like he won. Maybe he didn't win. I thought that he had won. 168.7. Could have swore this thing opened like. Maybe he didn't win. I thought he won. Oh, that's the problem. Hold up. Here we go. 168.9. No. 168.44, day after earnings. I'm sorry that took me so long. I told you guys it was early for me. It's early. 168.44 was the open the day after earnings, and our man Praveen Kumar called this thing 168.7. This guy was, what, less than 30 cents off on his guess. Incredible guess, Praveen. Proud of you, man. If you are here right now, please let me know. Hit me up. I need your email address. If you're not here, I'm going to give you a couple of shows, though. I'm going to give you a couple of shows. If you're not here right now, that's totally fine. I get it. You've got things you got to do. You're sleeping. You're at work. You're eating. You're doing something other than hanging out with me and us. But if you are here, let us know. And I'll keep on reaching out to you for the next couple of shows to see if you're around. Man, where are you guys today? Hold up one second. What is going on with my chat? Hold up. Okay, so I see you, Britsu. Britsu, how we doing? Crazy, how we doing? Mario, Lori, hey guys. Thank y'all for being here. Do appreciate it, as always. Pretty impressive. What's up, Shaggy Welds? This is my man, Shaggy. How's it going, Shaggy? Hope you're doing good. I'll pop back over to the SPY here. Y'all let me know if you see some action going on. I'm going to be keeping my eye on the screen just above me for Mr. Powell speaking. But y'all let me know if you see some action over there. And I believe we're supposed to hear from him in about 25 minutes. Yeah, so SPY, where we at here? SPY finding some support from yesterday's levels. They had a big move into the end of the day. I think it was kind of unexpected. I don't think traders were expecting a move into new highs yesterday. But darn it, we got it. Kind of sold off a little bit in after hours, and now we're kind of holding about where we closed yesterday. So pretty good look so far here on SPY. We'll see if they manage to maintain. Shaggy, I'm doing good, man. The Porsche IPO. What is the Porsche IPO? What's the ticker? I like Porsches. I'm a fan of Porsche. I know some people don't really dig them. I think they're cool cars. I like the old ones, like the old 911 turbos, like 60s, 70s turbos. Those are sweet cars. But yeah, hit me with the IPO name so we can look at it. Because now you got me curious. How's energy looking today while we're hanging out, waiting? And if you guys have any charts you want me to take a look at or anything you're trading in particular that you're liking, do let me know. I'll be happy to look at whatever you guys are looking at right now. While we wait, what's strong today? CURV. This thing's been a mover, man. It's been an absolute mover. Looks like it's going back for some new highs, or trying to anyway. EEM, what's up, Dory? How you doing? This is the emerging markets, right? Yes, it is. I mean, it looks okay. Looks okay. You really need some new highs. So you really want to get up and over here, 41.20. You've made some higher lows, which is what you want to see, you know. But this thing's kind of just tracking sideways for now. This is the kind of this is the little channel that you're in here. You really need to see a move up and over 41.20. You get that, you are looking for 43.14. So this thing's really lagging relative to, at least to the US indices. Kind of moving pretty slowly here. So nice longer term divergence, rather, RSI divergence. It could be slowly starting to set up. It's just a slow mover. You see your lower lows here on price with your higher lows on RSI. So it could be setting up. This could be just a nice big falling wedge accumulation type pattern. Could have been through here. And they're finding their way out of it now. But you need to start making new highs. So 41.20 is your first goal. We need to get up and over 41.20. And then you can look for 43. That's where my head's at on it. I think they brought futures all the way back. Trying to hold VWAP over there. What's QQQ look like this morning? One thing to think about, you guys, it is Friday. It is Friday, and I know you guys all know it's Friday, but why am I telling you to think about the fact that it's Friday? I'm telling you to think about it because there are lots of options to expire today. And since that's the case, you want to be mindful of that if you're playing options today. Because everyone's expecting a big move, one way or the other. What if they don't give us a big move? What if they just flatline it? What if our big move just happened pre-market and then we're going to do nothing for the rest of the day? It's something to consider, something to think about. Is there a link to the stream of the FRS itself? Well, I have one. We're going to be watching it here. Slava. I think that's what you're talking about. The FRS, Federal Reserve. I don't know what the S is. So, yeah, a very simple Google search will find you what you're looking for. But also, you could just hang out, yo. Oh, Federal Reserve Summit, Statement, Situation, Strategy? I don't know. I don't know what the S is. Slava, let me know what the S is. Yeah, Shaggy, right. Yeah, Amit, we got the NVDA results. We sure did. We sure did, sir. And our man Praveen Kumar was within 27 cents. So Praveen Kumar was the big winner, Amit. And we would like to congratulate him. But he's not here. So hopefully he'll show up sometime in the next hour and a half, or sometime next week. I'll try and get a hold of him next week. If anybody knows Praveen Kumar, tell him to hit me up. Tell him to holler at me on Twitter. I need his email address. Because the man was within 27 cents. Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. Pretty good. Much impressive. Much wow. Where's everybody tuning in from today? There's a bunch of y'all here. Where are we tuning in from? What time is it for you? How has your day been? What are your expectations for this Jerome Powell talk? You think we're going to get anything good out of him? Do you think it's going to be bad? Are you excited? Are you fearful? I'm curious your thoughts. Texas, 842, crazy. What's up in Texas? How's Texas looking? Isn't Texas flooding? Aren't there places in Texas that are flooding right now? I feel like that's what I saw. Go back to the indices while we're chilling here, waiting. Kind of want to see what those bad boys are doing this morning. Not able to hold pre-market gains. We might just chop here, at least for the next 15 minutes until Mr. Powell starts talking. Where else are you guys? Come on. There's a bunch of y'all here. There's 73 of you guys here, and I'm talking to like 4 of you. Say hello. Amit, you're in North Carolina. Nice. Nice. I like North Carolina. I'm originally from Atlanta. So I know a little bit about NC. Spent some time in Asheville and the like. Lori, LA, 642. Dang, Lori. It's early. I feel your pain. Crazy. I'm glad to hear that your area is not flooding. Hope it doesn't flood then. Next week. Brit Sue, Indiana. Joe from LA. LA like Los Angeles? Or Louisiana. Joe, our teen. Billy, what's up? Nashville. Music City of the World. Cowboy D from Ontario. Nice. Tobias from the Netherlands. Man, I love the Netherlands. Oh my God. I could live there. I love the Netherlands. Jeff from BK. Representing BK to the fullest. Roman from Cali. David B from Queensland. Nice. Where's Queensland exactly? Is Queensland like north of Maine? Or is Queensland in Australia? I feel like a total dummy. Geographic dummy. Nicholas from Raleigh. What's up? Isn't Raleigh like the banking capital of the country? I think. Carlos, Portugal. What time does he speak? I think he speaks in 15 minutes. He's directly above me right now. We're gonna listen to every word that he says. David, Australia. Okay, so it's what time is it there for you? Is it like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., something like that? I think you guys are like 20 hours ahead. Is that right? Am I getting that right? I don't know. Destin, Florida. Rudy, what's up? Shaggy, you're in Florida too. What's up? The swamps. Shaggy just lives with the alligators. Oh, it's midnight. Dang, Dave, you're staying up late tonight. I guess it's Friday. Hopefully you've got a beverage, a cool beverage in hand. Michael in Geneva? Oh, man. What's up? Switzerland. Like another place I could live for sure. Oh, my gosh. Bern? Holy moly. Bern blows my mind. I love Bern. Joe lives on Earth. Joe Nobody. Joe, you are a somebody. I told you. You need to change your name to Joe Somebody. The man is not a nobody. He's a somebody. Market's just chilling here. Not doing a whole heck of a lot. Sold off that whole pre-market pump. What is working today? Well, energy. Antero Research is a resource. Antero Resources. Remove all this stuff. Ooh, kind of an interesting look from the 10-year Treasury note over the past couple of days. It's kind of a level where we might expect some resistance, 316 area. Let's see here. Roman, pump to 13.3 or dump to 12.9 on NQ. Let's take a look over here. You guys aren't gonna be able to see this, unfortunately. We don't have live futures yet, so I'm looking at them on a different screen. So we pumped what to 13,225 this morning. Do we have on ES? I know that there's a gap above. Yeah, there is a little gap. 13 on NQ 13,249. There's a little gap there. I mean, so far to me, the price action over this past week has been really kind of constructive. Last week, I don't know if you guys follow along, but every week I write a little weekly check-in blog. Gets released on Fridays on TrendSpider.com. Under the blog section, it's just the weekly update. And last week, we talked about old support, or old resistance coming in and hopefully acting as new support. And that's exactly what we got, right? Old resistance, this key consolidation, and then distribution area around 410. You know, we gained it. We've come back. We've held it. So for now, things are constructive. We held these lows, which you want to see. Things are constructive. Now, if we start failing and we start making some more lows, then that's a bummer. If we lose this big 410 area, we can go to QQQ real quick and see the same stuff. Right in here. Right? Held that area. Now, we did lose this low, which is a little concerning. Doesn't look quite as good as SPY in that way. This 315 low that took us up. We did lose it. That is potentially a concern, but on IWM, same vibes. Previous highs, consolidation. We've extended, we've come back, we've tested, we've held. Things don't look that bad. What's up, Brad? I'm on the TV, on the big screen. Nice, feels good. Excuse me, guys. Do you think that the NASDAQ will go bearish or bullish today, Baruch? Baruch, man, that's tough, dude. Bearish or bullish? Can you give me a little bit more of an idea of your time frame? I mean, we don't know what Jerome's going to say, we don't know how the market's going to react. We know it's Friday. We know that they could because it's Friday and because everybody's expecting some sort of dramatic thing, they could just not do anything. And that would be a peach of a move, wouldn't it? Everybody in calls gets screwed, everybody in puts gets screwed, and they just go sideways for the day. It's possible. Could happen. Again, though, overall, I think we've got constructive price action so far. Qs is the only thing that's kind of like a little bit concerning me, but not really that much. It's a very small. It's not a huge important low in my opinion that we've lost here, but it is possible this could be the beginning of something. The fact that we lost these lows here, but who knows? Curious to know what Bread thinks. Bradley's the master of the trend. AKLI pump and dump of the day. Still watching for Powell. Whoa. What the hell is this? Well, looks like it was the pump and dump of the day on the 19th and the 22nd. But it is strong this morning. But this is a pretty gnarly little chart, that's for sure. A lot has happened in a very short amount of time. 37 to $5. Some sorry sot holding the bag up here at 37.49, going like it's gonna come back. It probably won't. Cat for Dury. Yeah, I don't know, Dory. Let me go to the weekly here. Close to something. I like how you say, looks like it's close to something. What? We don't know. All right, so I don't love that we've lost this low. We've lost this low right here. And when I'm saying lost this low, I mean we made new lows compared to this one and this one. We're making lower highs, clearly. Let's think about this here. So this area is pretty important. That we're gaining it is kind of interesting. I don't know that I would anticipate new highs. I don't think we're going to gain 230. I think we keep gaining. I mean, you do have gaps above, and it, in theory, could push through those pretty easily. If you keep gaining, I would be watching 222 as a short opportunity. That's kind of where my head would be at. Or maybe even, actually, 217. Those would be two levels for me. So if we keep gaining, I'd be watching here. I'd be watching in here. Somewhere thereabouts. We really wanted to see this hold, but this didn't hold. This sets up expectation to fail if we gain. So keep that in mind. IWM bleeding badly. We got 6 minutes, lads and lassies. IWM's not bleeding badly. IWM's the strongest of the bunch. VIX. VIX on the move up? What? We sure about this? Yo, there's a bunch of y'all here, man. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. If you're just tuning in, my name's Jason. And we're going to be watching the Jerome Powell comments live here as soon as they start. Looks like they should start here very soon. Next couple of minutes. Let me do something real quick. Adjust. My screen's going to look weird for a bit, or for a second. I'm just adjusting to make sure we're good to go. Yeah, 4 minutes, 23 seconds. This guy's going live. Tight. I can't wait. Jerome, let's go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, VIX had a big move a couple days ago, and it's just retracing that move, right? Come back in. Nasty weekly. Correcto. Shooter. Our man Jermaine, was anybody in attendance for the show last night? The live charting show with our buddy Jermaine. Cyberdog 2, the Strat Soldier. He would call this a shooter. One of his actionable candles. So you'd be playing the move to the downside in this case. You would be looking for a break below 2167 next week to short. Uranium stocks, easy money. Let's check out these other names first. Fetch, FTCH. Jermaine's such good vibes, Britsu. I really like that guy a lot. He's a sweet, sweet fella. Nice, strong move. On the weekly here, I guess they had earnings. Wow, monster. A nice power earnings gap up. You gained the low that you lost. It's $10.60, yeah. I would be looking for a test back. You know, hard to buy these big gap ups. It could continue just slowly grinding higher, but for me, it's kind of hard to buy these. I'd be looking for a move back in to test. Let me go to the weekly here. See what we got on the weekly. Yeah, so your next area. Next area is going to be in here. Somewhere thereabouts. Actually. Yeah. I think 16 bucks would be a target for me. Thereabouts. Yeah, Sarah's great too, Roman. She's really good at explaining the why of things. EQT. EQT. Looking hella good. Jerome, still not with us. Let's go to the weekly here. So you are at a little bit of exhaustion risk, right? Because you have now made new highs. Doesn't mean you can't keep making new highs. Actually, I kind of like... Let me see. Do this. So they gained it, but they kind of failed it. So this might have been a liquidity move, right? Just trapping shorts. Or, I'm sorry, trapping longs. You have to wait and see. You really need to see them gain this with like some oomph. So far we ain't got that yet. They did have a lot of volume on that day, but they sold it. They sold it. Actually, wow. So they had like a pop and a pretty gnarly drop. But it's holding, so it's kind of looking like it's going to break. This isn't really my style, buying these sorts of breakouts. Not really my thing. This is a super clean move, though. This initial retest here. This guy. That's pretty clean. Yeah, I mean, all in all, I think it looks pretty good. Might be trying to buy it a little bit lower. Actually, I might be... Well, they tested it once. I don't know. See what they do. Looks good, though. Looks strong. Which particular uranium stock? Do you have a particular one? We looked at UUU last night. And we looked at URA last night, too. I believe they both look pretty good. URA is a little extended. It could come back in a little. But it does look pretty good. I mean, it does look like it's starting to set up. Well. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tricky a little bit. Yeah, it's 23.5 level is pretty important. It is, well, so, yeah, how do we say this? Highs one? It's making lower highs, but it's holding this low, which is a pretty important low for it to hold. So yes, it is trending down. You've got shorter term lower lows being put in. It's kind of all about this spot to me. If you can gain that 23.5 area, then you might be able to try and go make a move back into those previous highs. And then what happens when you get there? Do you gain them or do you not? Do you not? It's starting. He's speaking. Oh, shoot. Y'all. Thank you for letting me know. There he is. Do this.
At our most recent meeting in July, the FOMC raised the target range for the federal funds rate to 2.25% to 2.5%, which is in the summary of economic projections range of estimates of where the federal funds rate is projected to settle in the longer run. In current circumstances, with inflation running far above 2% and the labor market extremely tight, estimates of longer run neutral are not a place to pause or stop. July's increase in the target range was the second 75 basis point increase in as many meetings, and I said then that another unusually large increase could be appropriate at our next meeting. We are now about halfway through the intermeeting period.
Yikes.
Our decision at the September meeting will depend on the totality of the incoming data and the evolving outlook. At some point, as the stance of monetary policy tightens further, it likely will become appropriate to slow the pace of increases. Restoring price stability will likely require maintaining a restrictive policy stance for some time. The historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. Committee participants' most recent individual projections from the June SEP showed the median federal funds rate running slightly below 4% through the end of 2023. Participants will update their projections at the September meeting. Our monetary policy deliberations and decisions build on what we've learned about inflation dynamics, both from the high and volatile inflation of the 1970s and 1980s, and from the low and stable inflation of the last quarter century. And in particular, we're drawing on three important lessons that I'll highlight. The first lesson is that central banks can and should take responsibility for delivering low and stable inflation. It may seem strange now that central bankers and others once needed convincing on these two fronts. But as former Chairman Ben Bernanke has shown, both propositions were widely questioned during the great inflation period. Today, we regard these questions as settled.
Pretty ugly.
Our responsibility to deliver price stability is unconditional. It is true that the current high inflation is a global phenomenon, and that many economies around the world face
So
inflation
far, holding a
as
higher
high
low
or
against
higher
yesterday's.
than seen here in the United States. It's also true, in my view, that the current high inflation in the United States is the product of strong demand and constrained supply, and that the Fed's tools work principally on aggregate demand. None of this diminishes the Federal Reserve's responsibility to carry out our assigned task of achieving price stability. There is clearly a job to do in moderating demand to better align with supply. We are committed to doing that job. The second lesson is that the public's expectations about future inflation can play an important role in setting the path of inflation over time. Today, by many measures, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored. That is broadly true of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, and of market-based measures as well. But that is not grounds for complacency, with inflation having run well above our goal for some time. If the public expects that inflation will remain low and stable over time, then, absent major shocks, it likely will. Unfortunately, the same is true of expectations of high and volatile inflation. During the 1970s, as inflation climbed, the anticipation of high inflation became entrenched in the economic decision-making of businesses and households. The more inflation rose, the more people came to expect it to remain high, and they built that belief into wage and price decisions.
We've been lightsabered.
As former Chairman Paul Volcker put it at the height of the Great Inflation in 1979, inflation feeds in part on itself, so part of the job of returning to a more stable and more productive economy must be to break the grip of inflationary expectations. One useful insight into how actual inflation may affect expectations about its future path is based in the concept of rational inattention. When inflation is persistently high, households and businesses must pay close attention and incorporate inflation into their economic decisions. When inflation is low and stable, they are freer to focus their attention elsewhere. Former Chairman Alan Greenspan put it this way: for all practical purposes, price stability means that expected changes in the average price level are small enough and gradual enough that they do not materially enter business and household financial decisions. Of course, inflation has just about everyone's attention right now, which highlights a particular risk today. The longer the current bout of high inflation continues, the greater the chance that expectations of higher inflation will become entrenched.
Look at a little resistance here.
And that brings me to the third lesson, which is that we must keep at it until the job is done. History shows that the employment costs of bringing down inflation are likely to increase with delay, as high inflation becomes more entrenched in wage and price setting. The successful Volcker disinflation of the early 1980s followed multiple failed attempts to lower inflation over the previous 15 years. A lengthy period of very restrictive monetary policy was ultimately needed to stem high inflation and to start the process of getting inflation down to the low and stable levels that were the norm until the spring of last year.
That was a monster bounce if you caught it.
Our aim is to avoid that outcome by acting with resolve now. So, these lessons are guiding us as we use our tools to bring inflation down. We are taking forceful and rapid steps to moderate demand so that it comes into better alignment with supply and to keep inflation expectations anchored. We will keep at it until we're confident the job is done. Thank you.
That's it. All that waiting. Is he going to answer questions? That's it? Wow. All right. Now the market can proceed back up. Now that he's done talking. Holy cow. That's what we were all waiting for. Just that. Man, monster dip opportunity. Holy moly. They do have a lower high, though, on the 5-minute. So that's kind of interesting. That was pretty LOL worthy. I agree, y'all. That was pretty LOL worthy. Let me bring this down. Wow. And they're ripping it all the way back. Oh, man. What a monster opportunity to go long. Holy cow. Holy cow. Y'all. Oh, man. Who just got wrecked? Yeah, what did he say? Did anybody glean anything awesome from that? Wow, what a move. Holy moly. SPY just went $5. Lost $5, gained $5. Oh my gosh, this market is insane. Got that dip, but sold too early. I actually did too, Joe. I don't know if you saw me looking down, and I was I was placing an order, but I sold like right here. Long calls. $4.15 again. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. We just got our range for the day. 4.15, such a spot. Very interesting indeed. It'll be interesting to see where they close this thing. Go daily. Let's go daily. Oops. At 415 level. Big spot. Actually, we can go all the way over here. Big spot. All right, so they're kind of selling off a little bit. Imagine if they retrace it all the way back. God. Insanity. How'd you guys do? That was the shortest, dumbest speech I've heard. What a waste. I'm going to take him off my screen. So now the question is, what's the commentary? What are the people saying? Sonya's got some big freaking downside targets. Sonya. What did she say here? What's up, Mr. Robot? Sonya, what did you say? New target for SPY, 406.8. It's a big downside move. Sonya? Just reading back through these comments. SHIB. We want to take a look at SHIB. Let's look at SHIB. Shiba Inu coin. Meme garbage that could go 10,000%. I mean, I don't know, man. What's it doing? It's holding where you want it to. Kind of gained previous highs and it's holding them. So that's good. So if it continues to hold, then you're targeting, what are you targeting? 0.00001529. You're targeting 0.00001694 and then gain and then higher. What else? UEC? Is this uranium also? Yes. What's Uranium Energy Corp look like? Oh. Not quite as nice as the other one that we were just looking at. It's just in a little bit of a holding pattern, huh? You really need to see some new highs. Specifically, like, I mean, you might as well just get up and over 481. I would be a little concerned somewhere around in here. This is where I'd be maybe looking for a little bit of profit taking. If they're able to get up there, 540, and between 540 and $6. Ultimately, though, you are in an uptrend. You're making higher highs. You're making higher lows. So eventually, you might even see a move up into like above into new highs, above 660. But for now, you're just going sideways, and you really can't do much. There's not a, to me, there's not a trade here until you start like gaining, really. What's up? Let's see. What's up, Joel? What's up, Tokaido? Thought Volcker was Powell's mentor. Looks like we are just repeating 1965 again. In a couple of years, we will get overly hawkish and inflation will be done. Maybe so. Javier, what's up? Back from Spain? Back to Spain from Florida. Welcome back to Spain, Javier. D-Dog. Our good friends at Sestri and Cap just did a paper on D-Dog. I'm going to share it with you because you might be interested in it. Hold on one sec. Sestrian have been so kind as to share their market sentiment with us in the form of a weekly blog. It can be found right here, and this whole blog is about their thoughts on D-Dog. For me, D-Dog is stuck below 116. I want to see it above it. If we can gain 116, then we're talking. But it's not looking bad. You've made a higher high. Kind of didn't really quite gain it. They tried and they failed. But they're holding higher lows. Sonia with the perfect targets. Always so perfect, Sonia. Why you gotta be so perfect? Yeah, so I'd be looking over 116, 117. But it doesn't look bad to me. Let me go to the weekly here. Excuse me. Yeah, that 116 is really a big spot. But we held these lows, which is important. Right here, the May 10th, 2021 lows, $82. We held them really nicely. Pretty big deal. If we had lost those, Goblin Town to $48. But yeah, you know, this thing could track sideways for a long time. So, you know, you look for another new high and then you look for a pullback. So, for example, I mean, your long off 101 was a pretty decent long. I was kind of looking for 90 personally, but and it could still come. But they bounced it a little sooner. They bounced off of the highs that they gained right here. I'd still kind of be looking for this ultimately. Maybe we'll get it on a like a, you know, at some point. Maybe we won't. Who knows? And then it all just boils down, Rob, to your plan. How long do you want to be in this trade? What is your idea here? I mean, it looks good right now, right? If you're just like day trading, it looks pretty strong. What do we do? Failed a high. It might come into some resistance about $1 from here. 113.78 somewhere thereabouts. Let me go to a small time frame. Man, this thing is choppy. Good God. Yeah, I don't know. I might be looking to short it around here, 119. All these gaps make things not nearly as easy to see. And they're even there with after hours data on too. It's annoying. IVM, Javier? IVM, no, not IVME, just IVM. Is that the right ticker? IVM? I don't see an IVM. SPY flag on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute chart and look at the SPY flag. What an insane move. Yeah, I don't know. Two levels that you would want to see hold right in here. Last ditch effort right in here. If they don't hold those, you're going to make some more lows. We were not able to gain the pre-market high. We did come in and try to gain the regular session high right here, but we failed. That's not great. That does suggest lower. But we're also looking at the 1 minute chart here. So, you know, you got to be mindful of the fact that we're going where we're looking at the 1 minute chart. Things just can move very quickly. IWM is Russell 2000. Russell kind of failing that spot. Russell has one more spot to hold, 192.98. If it fails there, not so great. They tried to hold the low that they gained, and then they failed a new high. And I mean, they could just do this all day. They could just take out a low, turn it back, make a lower high, come back, hold the low, make a new high, lose it. They could just go chop like this all day. This Microvision, right? Microvision, I was right. And with stocks. So what they do? Failed new highs. I mean, they tried to gain them, but did not. They are holding higher lows across the board. Continue to hold higher lows. So for me, hard to make a trade here. Don't want to assume anything. This was really close. They almost lost this low. Which would have set up a little bit of a different expectation. If they can keep holding this, they'll probably end up making a new high. Would be my guess. So right here is the low that they lost, that they're dealing with right now. A next area of interest is going to be right in here. If they're able to gain 588, we're going to be looking at 7. We're going to be looking for 7. And then up in here, 848. But I don't know. I don't know anything about this name, really. I just know the ticker. I don't know what they do. I don't know why they would do well or why they would do poorly. Nothing burger speech. Completely agree, Romans. Or Roman, rather. Total nothing burger speech. I don't know if I agree on the bleed, but I mean, it's possible. Dory. ESU 22. Your target's the blue line, JC. Just back up to those highs. I mean, as long as they're holding here, they've made a higher low. So the expectation would be to go higher. And if they lose that 457, then that sets up some new expectations. But for now, they're holding it. Never a bad idea to anchor a VWAP from a relative low. That would be your May 12th low. When you're in an uptrend, it's holding so far. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Could be a big old bottom. Oh, interesting. And they held this too. Yeah. I mean, will it make it back to its glory days of $22? I don't know about that. I'd have some doubts about that, in fact. What they do. Yeah, I mean, gain 588. Look for 750 to 850. That'd be a big move. Plenty of meat on the bone for that trade, too. What is strong today? Apron is strong. Tesla is up almost 1%. UVXY is the top of is the leaderboard on my personal watch list. BTU also strong. So some energy. Yeah, it's pretty much all energy at the top of my list. Bitcoin already has given up the entirety of its move. Well, not the entirety, but it's about to. I imagine Ethereum. Ethereum's holding a little bit better. Yikes. Yeah, they're not going to make it. NGMI. Rocket Mortgage. What happened with Rocket Mortgage? Holy guacamole. So I guess whatever Jerome said today was not great for mortgage companies. Oh no, who had their internet go out? Britsu, your internet went out? Bummer. OTEX. What's OTEX doing? Yikes. Open text. Yoof. What's the question here? Possible rebound? I mean, looks to me like it's going for $31. Been a pretty big spot. Somewhere in here. Excuse me. Somewhere in here is where I'd be looking. I would not expect a rebound. Well, let's see. What does the weekly look like? Yeah, you're at the lows, essentially. So what happened here? Did they have earnings? No. That they lost this low is not good news to me. In here, I mean, we could go down to like a small time frame and see. Yeah, I mean, on the very small time frame, you do have a little bit of divergence. Whether or not that matters, I don't know here with this. I don't buy these. I don't buy a stock that does this. Especially not day one. I mean, huge volume. You're an hour into the day. Done massive volume. And it's trading near lows. Like, why bother buying this right now? Why let accumulation happen. Let this play out. No reason to catch this knife. Sure, it could pop. It could pump. I mean, it could, but like, why trade this when you could trade something else? That looks dramatically better. Neo. Actually, real quick before we look at Neo, I just want to go back into the indices here. Oh man, wow! Holy moly! Look at them. These guys are cruel and unusual. This might be a decent bounce spot, then. Let's see. This might be a decent bounce spot. I almost want to try this. Maybe I get wrecked. Maybe I don't. I might get wrecked. It's an important hold spot here. Pretty important. Important. Sure thing, GS. I would try. I mean, yeah. Unless you just like love the company, you know, something that maybe other people don't know. Like, why trade it? There's just so much better stuff. It's a big spot. It's holding so far. I mean, they came right into this untested. Wow, look at them, like almost to the penny. I probably should have bought a more in the money contract. I didn't. But it should hold here. However, I don't love that they lost this. It's not great that they lost that. So now I might have to target a little lower. You got the AERT. What's AERT? Yeah, they might whack me out here. They might take me out. We'll see. I'll risk a little bit. I don't need to risk too much. I don't care that much. What's AERT? I got the ERT. ERT. To take along on the futures account or to not take along on the futures account. That is the question. Yeah, I don't know. Might be dumb to do it. This is a tricky spot. Should hold. Might not. Man, what a ripper. What a ripper. Crazy. Yeah, what's Tesla looking like today? My Bessie and a Tessie. Important hold. Can they do it? Are they gonna fail it? They might fail it, but it's an important hold. Tesla. Let's go look at Tesla. Yeah, I mean, so far, Tesla holding daily low. So let me go to smaller. You want to see it hold to 95.87 if you're day trading this thing along. That is your spot. They just went and tested it. NVDA, Dory. NVDA puts. What do we think about these NVDA puts? Ooh. Pretty ugly. I think I'm about to get stopped out of my little SPY long here. Let me go to a bigger time frame. Yeah, so for me, Dory, we're inside day to day, which means we're consolidating. Hard to take any directional position when you're inside day. Inside meaning we are trading below or in between yesterday's range. So really, what I would be looking for, Dory, is a move below yesterday's low or a move above yesterday's high to get me thinking about wanting to do anything. Otherwise, we're just consolidating here. So they could stay within this range and then everybody's screwed, right? So that's what I would wait for. Also, it's Friday. Don't forget, it's Friday. So if you're buying options, just remember it's Friday. Every buy attempt on Apple and Microsoft gets shut down. Yeah, I mean, the market's not very happy right now. NVDA was up because AMD was banging. Microsoft was banging. The Qs in general were banging. So NVDA banged too. It's giving it all back though. Yeah, I just got stopped out my SPY long. So that's not good. I mean, not good for longs. So what are they going to do now is the question. Oh, I do have an alert set. Yeah, I don't know. It's not so great. Maybe they come in here. 411.81. Let's see what this looks like. Why am I drawing that line? 411.81. Ah, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is like seriously last ditch effort. They could, though. They could go and take out all these lows and then turn it back. That would be kind of interesting. Let me try one other thing. Oh, come on. A nice little pop. Yeah, I mean, you know, Dory, if AMD and all of its friends are ripping, it's probably going to rip too on NVDA. That's just kind of like what I would expect. It just kind of makes sense. Let's see if SPY can hold this. You guys might be totally right, though. We might be just bleed. Baba? I got an alert on something Chinese earlier. What's Baba doing? Dang, I didn't realize how close my alert was to firing. It did not fire. This was what I was looking for. I think I set this alert like a month ago. They did not get me, but that's where they needed to hold, and they held it. So, not a bad look on Baba. Not a bad look, but we did just gain these highs, and we're rejecting, so they might come back in. We might look for somewhere in here. Oh, come on. And then we're looking for failure somewhere in here. 120. So this would be a sweet trade. 91.5 bucks back to 120. That'd be cool. I would take that trade. Can't trade it here yet. If you're long, this is not a good look. We might come back in. But they did hold it like literally right where they needed to. So looks like SPY's trying to hold here. PDD, Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo. I did get an alert on this today. So I had a short idea on Pinduoduo at this level. They rejected. I missed that alert. Let me see what they did. Yeah, this is a relatively decent spot to take a short, but I don't know that it ends up holding because they held where they needed to down here. Did not quite get to my target. So, let's see, what haven't we done? We did that. Oh no, they're back. Stop spamming. That was a nice little bounce, momentary bounce on SPY. Looks like they're going to continue selling it off. Yikes. No bueno. Ooh, though, man. I wouldn't be shocked if they ran this thing back. On the future side, 41.24. I mean, perfect hold. You guys hearing this bass in this music behind us? Oh my gosh. They're playing bass on this. It's like insane. Roman, you still think the Qs bleed? It's certainly possible. What's up, Brian? Hope you're well. Dow holding the lows for now. But it's getting dicey. Where's QQQ? QQQ also holding for now. Would be interesting to see them take out all these lows and then turn it and go back and test stuff. ETH has given back most of its move. What else? Bitcoin has as well. What's up? Gold is up. Gold futures are up. I guess gold's not really up. Gold futures are up. Gold at an interesting spot for me. UVXY almost 6% today on UVXY. Logical place for them to pause it. Try to gain a new high, failed. Need Microsoft 274.76, Apple 168.10. Some of my homies were in Microsoft yesterday. I wonder if they're still in it. Are you guys still in Microsoft? Anybody who was in that trade yesterday? See, SPY's still trying to hold. Microsoft is too. Big spot. Big spot on Microsoft. Big spot. You see why? Apple. Apple holding higher low. Filled the gap. Held the higher low. Almost to the penny. So far. Coin? No, Tesla. Heck nah, you been out. Yeah, I had a bit of a concern about Tesla. I don't love the look of it. It's just, it's also in a bit of a range. Kind of can't do much here. Could be putting in a lower high though. And you see what they do here. 279. If they lose 279, that would be problematic for me. If I were wanting to go long. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. So Shaggy Bread, you guys were both in Microsoft longs yesterday. And they took those longs. Hell yeah. So glad to hear it. Good trade, boys. Happy for ya. Coin. Coin coming into a spot. 63 bucks. Long-term support at $11. What's that? What are you talking? Am I looking at the wrong chart? I don't know, man. I mean, you got to look at what we've done, though. It's like so far, let me just remove all this. Since the lows, what have we done? If this is your low, right? And then this was the high that this low took you to. We retraced, we held, and then we made a new high relative to this one, and now we're just coming back and testing. So for me, talking about like right here. You definitely want to see this 64 level hold if you're long. They tested this right here where it broke down. Right? That's what they were testing. This 112.69. So this thing is already pulled back 50% from its relative highs, its recent highs, its August 4th highs. Essentially, it's pulled back 50%. But you say it's going to $11? I mean, sure, it could. I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying the relative trend right now is kind of constructive. So you have a lot of lows to lose before you're getting to $11 on this. 53, 46, 41. And then once they lose those levels, if they do, probably going to have to back test, right? You're probably going to have to come back in and test higher. So it's going to take some time. If it's going to 11, it could take some time. Unless they just like announced like they're going bankrupt tomorrow, then maybe. They have NFTs now. I think their NFT marketplace is like does horrendously poorly. I think I've heard that before. So let's go back to SPY here and see what's happening on the Fiverr. So it did hold. Q's holding for now. IWM, what's IWM doing? IWM. I mean, IWM looks the strongest of them. It doesn't look good, but it looks the best. Putting in a higher low. Or trying to. Trying to hold a higher low. What's the dollar doing? Dollar finding some strength today. This is something to keep a close eye on. They did not make a new high, but they are seeing strength today. Filled this little gap here. We'll definitely be watching this in the weeks to come. It could make or break things for the markets. Going back into SPY here. Yeah, SPY holding for now. It's a scary long spot, but a decent one. What's up, Ben? I'm doing good, man. Just chilling. Spending my Friday morning with you guys. Enjoying myself. I've taken 3 trades today on SPY. The first one was a winner. The second one was a loser. The third one was a winner. I should have held the third one. I'd still be in it. Because I tried to buy this low. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. It's been struggle bus for me lately. Actually, it's been pretty decent for me on like the options, normal equities side, but futures, man, I've been struggling. Futures are tough. You've been looking at midline pipeline players, CEM, WES, KMI. See what KMI does against the previous 24-month high. Let's check those out. Midline pipeline. Can you explain to me what a midline pipeline is? Is the midline the intermediary between the producer and the final destination? Bingo! That's deductive reasoning working for you. Okay, so what I see is you have a low, This low brought us all the way up here. And then we failed below it right in here. So then we look here, because this is the high that brought us here. And we do that. And we see failure kind of right at that spot. That's kind of what I see. So for now, you did not make a higher high here. Believe it or not, on the daily here, I guess maybe you could go to a bigger time frame, but believe it or not, this is actually in a downtrend. Right? You have your high, you have a lower high, you have a low, lower low, lower low, lower low. Is this failing a new high again? It could be. If it is, guess what we're going to do? Probably going to go make new lows. Now, that said, if we go to bigger time frames, we see totally different looks, right? On bigger time frames, on the weekly, I can't not see what I just saw, but you know, you also have this big weekly low that we held really nicely. So this could just be tests and we could be ready to gain. It would make sense. You have a huge move higher potential. There's very little resistance above to like $48. So on the daily, on the smaller time frames, it looks like it's kind of topping. On the bigger time frames, it doesn't. It looks like it's just kind of slowly setting up. So you just kind of have to watch. In my opinion, you have to watch these highs, and you have to see if they can get above them. $38 would be the goal for me. Get above $38 and hold above $38, then you're in a whole new world because you've just now made a new high. But right now, on the near term, we are in a downtrend and we're making lower highs, lower lows. So that's my thought on CEM. Brian, I imagine we're going to see something relatively similar. Okay, so a different look here, right? You have a lower high and then a higher high, and we might be trying to now make a move higher. This looks a little bit better to me. They did hold this low. Looks like they pulled liquidity here, but they held the low. So I would expect higher here on WES, KMI, Kinder Morgan. Yeah, Kinder Morgan also looks a little bit better. But could fail. This one's a little tougher. They held this, which is what you needed to hold. Yeah, this looks pretty good. And they're having trouble here. $20. You can see it over here where it was support before. It's a big spot. It is. It's a big spot. I don't know what is KMI also midstream? I assume it is. Or I'm sorry, yeah, KMI. Natural gas, got it. What's the conclusion, Mars? Well, the conclusion is the market is unhappy. We can look at that and see it. That looks nasty. That's the SPY. That's the QQQ. QQQ trying to go for a new low here. Or a test, double test. We'll see. IWM looks pretty rough as well. Market's not happy with that speech. All of us here were kind of left saying, what did he just say? Did he just say anything? We were not sure if he said anything. CELH. Yeah, I mean, CELH, one of the strongest names in the market right now. Kind of reminds me of ENPH. Very similar looking chart. Am I right or am I right? CELH. So, what have you got? Made a new high. Coming back to test the old high. What more do you need to know? The old high is your line in the sand, that 108 or so. I mean, you could say like 104 or 7. It's really kind of where you'd want to hold. See what they do when they get there. 105. And then you're watching here. You're watching these lows now. You're watching 92.90. If they end up losing it and going lower, then that would set up some expectation for a potential failure of a new high. But for now, this thing is a monster. And in poorly performing markets, people are always looking for the relative strength, and this is one of those relative strength names, I have to say. I mean, it made a new all-time high yesterday. How many names made new all-time highs yesterday? Probably not many. We could scan and see. Let's do it. I'm going to say price, high, daily high. One candle ago, actually greater than. Indicator, weekly range, high. Let's say one candle ago. And oops. Darn it. I did the wrong. Picked the wrong thing. Hold on. Price daily high, greater than indicator, weekly range. Range high. And let's do like, actually, maybe I should use monthly. Let's do like 200. That's like 4 years. One candle ago, one candle ago. SAH, S-A-H. Made 4-year highs today. BDC. Made 4-year highs. These may not be all-time highs. Albemarle made all-time highs yesterday. I mean, actually, lots of names made all-time highs. CF Industries made an all-time high. Or at least, you know, like very near term. ELF. Made an all-time high yesterday. Oxy. Oxy didn't make an all-time high. They made a 4-year high. So this is just looking like 4 years. If I'd used the monthly, we could have done it. We could have looked more further back. But still, relatively speaking, not a ton of names making these big new highs right now. So good to know where they are. Do I think some major stocks like Tesla, Nvidia, going to drop in the next few weeks? How long would it take to digest the news? That's a big question. I don't know. I mean, right now, it doesn't look to me on the big time frames. Tesla's holding a higher low. So that's good. On the weekly, same looks. Tesla could pull back 260, 250. If it does pull back, see what it does when it gets there. What else should you ask about? You've got calls on them expiring a month. Considering if you should sell. I mean, I don't know, man. I can't give you that sort of advice, unfortunately. On the daily here, Tesla's just in a range. You kind of have to wait and see what it does, either above 311 or below 283-ish. Because they could just chop for the next couple of weeks, and then everybody gets fried, right? Calls and puts get fried in that scenario. But those are your kind of top and bottom levels to be watching. And you see, I mean, in theory, we may be losing. We're losing an important spot right now, in my opinion, on Tesla. Kind of losing a low that you really kind of want to see it hold. Doesn't mean that we're... Let's see, what's this one looking like? Yeah. Yeah. Hard to go short here. You're at the bottom of the general area. Hard to go long here though too. I would let it break out of this relative range before making a long or short position call. We're going back to SPY because it is failing further here. Now this is not what you want to see. If you're bullish, we're getting into some tricky territory here. So now they're coming into the lows from the low of week here. The question is will they just barely trade below this low and then turn it back? Or will this low or these relative lows become resistance now? They are at exhaustion risk at this point. But this is important. Making new weekly lows here on the SPY. I would imagine that IWM is faring a little bit better. Yeah, IWM still holding up. Still has room to potentially make a higher low here. QQQ. Also putting in a new weekly low. Not quite the sight that you want to see. Yeah, Ben, this has been pretty intense, for sure. Tesla could go 190. Let's look at a weekly here. Yeah, the only thing is it's just holding this low, and I don't know, man. It's holding a low right now. It's got to fail 250 first. Dory SMG. Scott's Miracle Grow? Oh, no. Dory, sis. Are you a sis? Can I call you sis? Or bro? Brother. Dory, I'm not sure. All I think about with Dory, no offense, I think about the fish from that movie. Wasn't there a fish in a movie called Dory? I believe there was. Oh, you're a bro. Sorry. Okay, so Dory. Burrow. It's a very difficult place to buy puts. Because you're getting into, like, where this whole thing came from. On the weekly here, you do have this untested level, 70 bucks. I mean, yeah, sure, there's maybe a little bit of meat on the bone here, so down to 70. Maybe even down to 65. But you're so sold off already. It's making a new low. Just lost this low. I mean, it definitely could go lower. I'm not saying it's not going to go lower. You would have wanted to see this low hold, and they tried to here, but they failed it. So now you're looking to in here somewhere. So I don't know. Is that enough? Is that enough meat on the bone for you from 73 to 62? I mean, it's a big move, 10% if you get all of it. I think 65 would be a spot for me that I would probably try and go long. Or even 67. You already bought him. Well, okay. I mean, I hope it works. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm just saying, like, you've retraced this entire move. So you're coming into areas that should act as support. You should get some support here. What did they do? What have they done? Yeah. I would, if I were you, keep a tight leash. Again, like I said, you do have a spot, 69.40 or so. You got a spot at 65.5. If you go to the monthly, you've got this to 66.74. Time will tell. Okay, so we're getting some buyback here on IWM. I'm just checking on my futures side. IWM putting in a higher low. Is SPY buying? Are they buying SPY yet? A little. Yeah, so they did do that thing that we talk about all the time. Hunting liquidity below the low. Now the question is, will it hold? That we don't know. They could just sell it off further here. But you know that there were tons of stops here, tons of long stops that they just wiped. Qs doesn't look quite as good. Weren't able to make that. Kind of want to see them cut just below it and immediately come back. So we'll see if they immediately come back here. IWM, like has been the way lately. IWM definitely the strongest of the bunch. Did not test the lowest low held and is holding a higher low for now. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to go to Twitter there. Wondering how NEO will be affected with Chinese economic uncertainties. That I don't know. I don't know anything about Chinese economics. And we actually went over NEO last night with Jerome. I mean, all I see is lower highs and lower lows. They held this. So they are holding a higher low on the longer term time frame. They did not make a higher high on the longer term time frame. Actually, yeah, they sort of did. I got earnings here in a couple of days, September 6th. That's like what next? No, I think it's like week after next, Monday, week after next. I don't know, man. ARKK? ARKK failed at those previous highs. And is not doing what you want it to do if you're bullish. Is not holding this low. Let's go to a weekly here and see. So this is kind of what I was talking about, Dory, with your Scott's Miracle Grow. You come into those lows, those previous lows, brought you all the way up. You're usually going to find some support there. Even if it doesn't last forever, you're usually going to find some support there. So on the weekly side, it could just be putting in a higher low here. I kind of think $40 or so is your line in the sand. You really want to see 40, somewhere around 40 bucks hold. If we go here. Yeah, so there. I always like to measure from, you know, relative lows, near-term lows, and uptrends. The anchored VWAP, they're trying to hold it. You do have a little bit of untested stuff. A little lower, 37.8. It's not looking great, but it also isn't looking wildly problematic just yet. It's getting close, though. It's getting close to looking problematic. Yeah, they tried to hold this low, and now they're failing below it, so they're probably going for the next one. So watch, yeah, watch 40.72 if they continue this lower. 40.72, 41, somewhere thereabouts. Somewhere in here. Looks like they are not able to hold the low on IWM. So we're going back to SPY here. Yeah, that's not what you want to see. You want to see them holding this stuff. So now we need to start looking a little lower. It's ugly out there. SPY 409.27 might be a spot. Somebody's talking about 406, 407, 4682, this low right here. You go to, yeah, I mean, kind of figure they're going to hold it at some point. They're going to find a low to hold. But we do not know when that's going to come. QQQ losing this low here. IWM. Now IWM's coming into its lows of the week. Right there. Held this one. Big spot. They're all big spots, aren't they? You guys get tired of hearing me say that, I suppose. Shop maybe at a spot. What's up with shop? Yeah. Shaggy. Yep. It's like a must hold. 31.90. If you lose these lows, Goblin Town. NTNX. Nutanix. Ooh, earnings in 2 days, man. Earnings in 3 days, rather. October 21st, 30 call. If you want to be a cowboy, I would. I mean, I don't know, man. That's a big move. You're talking about a 30% move. Earnings better be good. And where are we at? I mean, coming off some really important lows. What's up, Katie? Katie, you got the insider info for us? Their earnings are never good. Well, there you go. Looks like they're failing right where they failed. 1985. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're going to play 30 calls for October 21st, why not just let earnings happen? Why not just let earnings happen? I mean, unless it's just an earnings play for you, which it sounds like it is. You're trying to go long ahead of what you think are going to be good earnings. I mean, if earnings are good, then maybe it would work great. He was third, 300 people working for him. They did their IPO, made millions, and moved on. Your son made millions and moved on? Good for him. Way too much competition. All right. Well, Joe, there you go. You got some insider info here. You guys, I'm about to wrap up. We've been live for 2 hours. It's been such a pleasure hanging out with you all. But now it's time for me to go. So with that said, let's do this. Recap of, or not recap, what we've got in store for next week. Let's talk about what we have in store for next week. Next week, I'm going to be live Monday and Wednesday, 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, hanging out with you guys, talking shop, answering questions. If you're a TrendSpider user and you want to know how to do something, I am here to assist you. Monday, Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. On Tuesday, we're going to be live on Twitter Spaces. We're going to be talking to Rosanna Trades, Stock Swing Alert, Real Pristine Cap, shout out Real Pristine Cap, my buddy Andrew, and Brand Keo. We're going to be talking to these guys about their trade ideas for the week. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday night on Twitter Spaces. Please come hang out if you're looking for trade ideas from some studs. Thursday's going to be awesome. Thursday night here on TrendSpider TV, we are going to be live taking your chart requests with the one, the only Miss Sarah, the Strat Sniper. She is a lovely human being. We love having her on the show. She always brings the good vibes. Jermaine brought the good vibes, the good strat vibes last night. We're doubling up. We're doing strat philosophy trading again on Thursday. So Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, bring your chart requests. Sarah is going to give you the skinny, the down low, the 411 on all of your charts as it relates to the strat. So that's what we got for next week. If you guys want to be a part of any of that, I'd love for you to be a part of it. If you need to know when I'm going live, I've got a calendar that I can give you. I'm going to give you guys a couple of things here. First thing, actually, Sadie, can you hit me up with my calendar? I always got to holler at Sadie for my calendar. I need to just pin it to the conversation so I have it. While I'm waiting for that, let me give you guys this. If you're not a TrendSpider user, but you are thinking about becoming one and you'd like to be a TrendSpider user, but you need a discount because you can't afford it because it's a little expensive, I got you. 25% off right there. Second thing, Discord. Join our Discord. Come hang out. Come get some ideas from the community. Share your scan ideas. There's a link to our Discord. Sadie, can I get my calendar? Do you have it? Actually, let me look at the pins. Let's see here. There it is. Here's the Google Calendar. If you guys want to know when I'm live, subscribe to my Google Calendar. I'll tell you. All right, so for real, though, that's it for me. It's been a lovely day hanging out with you all. Thank you so much for being here. Jerome really let us down today. And I'd said last night I wasn't going to swear. I'm not going to swear at him, but he let us down, and I'm disappointed in you, Jerome. You better do better next time. Have a great weekend, everybody. It was lovely being here with you. As always, Joe, Brian, Katie, Roman, Lori, Javier, Ben. Hold on, let's go down the list. Shaggy, Dory, Bread, Amit, Roman. Did I already say that? Roman. JC, Tokaido, Rob, Sonia, Hiswan, Serbfin, Jeff, Mr. Robot, Mr. Hedge Fund, Who else? Crypto Magic, Baruch, David B, Michael Ost. You guys are all gentlemen and scholars and gentlewomen and scholars to me. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Discord invite says expired. Hold on. Let's see if we can get you another one. Can we get another Discord invite link, Sadie, real quick? Let's see. I don't know why those Discord links expire. I wish they wouldn't. Here we go. Hold up. She's going to hook us up. Everybody shout out Sadie. Sadie, my fearless producer. So lovely. Such a lovely partner in crime. There it is. Thank you, Sadie. Here we go. Here you go, guys. Sorry about that. She's clicking the don't expire button. I don't know exactly what that means, but maybe that means it won't expire anymore. Okay. Yeah, I always do this. I always say bye like 6 times. But for real, it's been really nice hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, you know what we haven't done today? We have not done any screen graphics. Shout out Parker for the explosion graphics. This is what Jerome did to the market today. He was right on target with his explosions of the market. So shout out Parker for the sweet graphics. And yeah, I'm gonna get him to make me some more of them because I love them. Okay, for real though, for real. I'm gonna get out of here. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being here. If you're not a TrendSpider user, become one now. And we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.